Welcome to Truly Heal and day 2 of the 7 lessons that guarantee you a stunning career as a health coach, health practitioner, or educator. Anybody who wants to inspire this world with health. Now, thank you very much for your feedback from yesterday. We had overwhelming feedback, lots of passion, and no, you don't need to be a Nelson Mandela or a Gandhi. Even to raise healthy children within your own family can be a phenomenal task. The only thing which is important that you're passionate about, that you're driven by something that will take you all the way. So really look at what is it that motivates you? What is the reason why you want to do it? And that's the task of the first exercise. So when you have that, today we look at learning. Now, learning is probably what most people say, daunting, scary, boring. Well, if you can't learn, if you learn by heart, if you have to memorize for a test, it is. But there are many ways to make learning very fascinating, very exciting, very joyful. You know, learning is actually created out of the principle of curiosity. We have a problem and we want to find out how it works. We're curious about the wonders of this world. So it can be exciting, exhilarating, extremely joyful, but it can also be daunting. And we'll talk in a moment about the passion pyramid, because this is actually directly related. To learn, we need to be passionate about a project, about something. And then we accumulate all the information naturally until we are respected in the field. And then from there, we move up that passion pyramid until we reach the winning team. We've made it. We've achieved great success. We do meaningful work, and we are part of an insider group that stands out from the crowd. Let's face it, there is hundreds, thousands of people who live in that mediocrity, who don't really shine. And you want to be one of those that people admire, look up to. And that's what we call expertise. They regard you as someone who knows more than they do. And that's the purpose of learning. Now, before we go there, let's look at some of the things that are rather confusing and very different from what we try to achieve. When you look today, or generally say alternative medicine, it's very dubious reputation. It's very, not worth a lot. And you have to admit that general advice is given everywhere, even on the market, and it's given freely. And that's why 85% of all health coaches, naturopaths, dietitians, whoever finish their studies, don't find clients, don't have any work. Because general advice is something you can get even on Dr. Google. You type it in and you have hundreds of pages and blogs and info what to do and what not. So that's not the expertise that we're trying to seek. And to join the parrot community, to just start to proclaim this is better, B17 is better, no vitamin C, like self cures every disease, that's a fast too. So separating yourself from that parrot community is probably the very first step to do. And raw vegan, GAPS, ketogenic, I always think it's like clubs. And we have the soccer club and the baseball club and the rugby club, and they all proclaim their sport is the best. It's pretty similar with that diet community. Instead of focusing, what is it that this client needs? What is his constitution or her constitution? And how can we improve that? And that will determine the best diet, but not because my diet is better than anything else. So moving away from that whole process and selling cures like they were guns in a shop to shoot the cancer or to shoot any kind of disease will never give you a good reputation, and certainly will discredit the industry. And I always compare that with the 5 blind men standing at the side of the road and discussing what an elephant would look like. And an elephant leader that walks by hears them and says, just step forward and look at the elephant. And the first one says, it's like a wiggly snake. And the sixth one says, what are you talking about? It's like a spear, pointy spear. While the third one says, mine is like a tree. It's like a solid, sturdy tree. Fourth one says it stinks and it swishes around and makes a hell of a noise. and the fifth one proclaims it's to be a rumbling mountain. Well, all of them discuss and argue which is true, because none of them has actually looked at the whole picture. And that's what we do very, very different. And it's actually our main goal. Instead of proclaiming things, studying and learning them. And Einstein said it very nice. We cannot solve a problem with the same mindset as we created them. So some of my heroes, Dr. Dean Ornish, phenomenal. Resolve the problem, take the problem away, help your clients to resolve their problems, and healing will happen. Dr. Mark Hyman, the same thing. Very beautiful functional medicine, looking with functional testing and with a proper approach for the disease, and then helping your clients improve. And everybody knows Bruce Lipton with Biology of Belief, where we look at all the surrounding factors, your environment in which your cells live, and as soon as we change that, healing occurs naturally. And that's the approach that we do functional medicine, because it addresses the root cause of the problem. Now, when you have a pipe in your house leaking in the ceiling and it drips down on the floor, then it's not the floor which has the problem and the puddle that is there. And this is, if you just try to visualize that, you have deficiencies in your body, and we all do with the food that we eat today. We all have deficiencies with a single-sided diet with all sorts of inflammation. It leaches out certain minerals. If you have heavy metal toxicity, you lose all the minerals, and then you have a deficiency which prevents you from healing, and in a very bad situation can even be the cause of disease. So deficiencies, inflammation, gut problems, hormones, toxins, infections. There is so many clients that come to us that have severe infections, and reduce them, and all of a sudden their cancer treatments start to work. Stress, another very big factor. I had clients that did really well, they improved, and then something happened in their life, and within a matter of week, their tumors came back and doubled and tripled in size because of the stress factor. So learning to deal with stress, learning to deal with life more equivalent is what we teach our students, because that's where we make the real difference and the real transformation. And then, with every bit of drop that drips down, that is smaller and less, the quality of life gets better, and that's what we want to achieve. So finding the cause, and we do that with a very detailed questionnaire, checking symptoms, then following up with functional testing, which is really important to set status quo. Today, this is your level. Now let's work for 2 months and see then whether we have actually achieved our goals. And that's a phenomenal approach, because it really helps you to create success stories on the way. Instead of just waiting for that big end goal that is very hard to achieve, we create minor steps in between that really improve compliance and passion and joy of doing it. And then we move into developing a plan, a priority plan. What is that needs to be done? How can we achieve it best? And then work with the client to implement that into their life. And that includes working with practitioners, because, a dentist might be necessary, or a naturopath, or a nutritionist to help with supplementation. And to build that into the program is actually then a stunning task that gives peace of mind to your clients. Because for them, it's an overwhelming task if they haven't learned it. But for you, it would be easy to arrange that and help them through that whole process. Then we add what normal health coaches do, a bit of lifestyle and diet, which is crucial. But you can't heal or reverse a degenerative disease just by doing that. There is a lot more involved. We boost the immune system with as many possible means that we have, and that's through diet, through nutrition, through supplementation, through some of the natural remedies that help to bring forth the power of the immune system. And then we motivate and educate. Because let's face it, there is a lot of motivation required to stay on track, to not fall back into old habits. And that's what we do with our stress management program, because that will help to resolve a lot of clients' major problems in dealing with stress. And then we monitor progress. See, one of our greatest achievements is the app, and you can run it on a phone, a smartphone, you can run it on an iPad or PC or Mac, and it allows you to check through every single system. And I'll just open it up very short here. The timeline, the questionnaire, to find out from birth till present moment what has accumulated to the present state. And then looking at medication, looking at all the different supplementation that a patient takes. Sometimes an overkill. So to find out why they have so many side effects from the drugs they take has actually nothing to do with the disease. So finding that, then looking at all the different body systems, then all the inflammatory. And the nice thing is here, you don't need to have a massive balloon head and know it all. You have it all in here. You can check symptoms, all the different problems, the treatments, the tools to diagnose, which kind of tests are most relevant, and which kind of supplements, plus all the research studies, all at your fingertips. And that will help you to navigate through all of those different factors to eliminate everything that makes that client sick. And we teach that, or the app is available for our health coaches, for our health practitioners, and as an app training to show you how to use it best. All right. Now let's look at some of the factors, how to make learning really exciting, how to become an expert without falling into stress. And yes, you can put all the books under your cushion and sleep and hope it just transpires into your mind. But I would say there is a lot easier form. And that's something I suggest to all our students. While you study through the program, you have 24 chapters. And all 24 chapters are something that you do as a reading and learning and videos and charts, and then you do your assignment. Afterwards, I would recommend you get a little private audience. Grandma is usually very willing to listen to you, or anybody that you have in the family. Get yourself a little audience and then present what you've learned to them. Now, there is one significant reason. When you start reading it, well, you retain 10%. When you hear, or let's say you combine, you watch a video, you look at the mind maps and you read, then you have a total of 50% see and hear. Now, if you discuss it with someone, which is always a good thing to do if you get into a study group, and then experience, try it out. But teaching it is 95%. So as soon as you've learned a chapter and you realized it, prepare that, make a little slideshow. Images will help you retain a lot. Then you write a little bit of text. See, it's just the same as I do here with this slideshow. And then explain it to someone. And by doing so, you will realize that you become an authority in no time. First of all, they realize the amount of knowledge that you acquire. And secondary, you learn to share. And this is a simple principle. I can only give you what I own, what I have. So instead of learning by heart and then forgetting it all, like we do for exams and tests, that's not really the best way. Learning by teaching is the very, very best. And to get a small audience, you will realize towards the end of your program, they will grow. And look for someone who has passion for the subject. The next most exciting part is do it yourself. Experience. You realize from the previous chart, experience is 80%. Now, I recommend to all our coaches, whatever they teach, do it yourself. Whether that's an ozone treatment, whether that's a hypothermia treatment, whether that's PMF. We run workshops and you can do it all there, or you can do it at home, or you can get into a community, but do it. And before you recommend anything to someone else, do it for yourself. The greatest benefit in functional medicine and in what we do is that you can apply this program to a healthy person who wants to go for excellence. People that go for sport, that want to have maximum performance, can do the same program and increase their health and increase their immunity before they go on a tournament and have great success. So it's something you can do to improve your health, even if you feel great. And that will make a massive difference. I had infusions, IV infusions, B vitamin complex, everything, just because I wanted to see how it feels, whether I feel a difference, and how it performs or improves my health. And as soon as you do, see here Bill Henderson doing PMF treatments. Well, it's the great way, because then I share from experience. And if I have a good result for myself, I can recommend 10 times better and with a lot more understanding than if I just hearsay. And that's again the parrot community. Another really beautiful part to make this exciting beyond is if you're playful. I said in the beginning, learning has to do with curiosity, childlike exploring how things work. Now, I bought myself for $300 and something a dark field microscope, and then I started to check my blood when I had 1 cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, 3, and I wanted to see at what stage do my immune cells fall asleep. If I eat chocolate, if I eat sweet, if I acidify my body or I alkaline my body, how does my blood transform? And it's within a matter of 10 minutes, you can change it. So for me, that was a phenomenal learning curve, because I realized how fast we can actually influence our health. And that's what Bruce Lipton says. A mindset can already cause your blood to clot up, stress. Whereas a hug and love and relaxation can loosen it up. So seeing those things, life, and realizing is what I call the greatest joy. Be playful. Don't learn to get a result. Play with it until you really feel and understand it. And then ride on the shoulders of giants. In the world today where we have so much information at hand, yes, you can get easily confused. You can get overwhelming information that is contradictory and, opposing each other. We know that. we had to explore them all. But that's why I would always stand on the shoulders of giants. For the past 15 years, we've picked through hundreds of different practitioners. And I can tell you some of them I would not send even my enemies to, and others I love. So by learning from different people, you realize very fast what works and what doesn't. And that's how we moved from cancer treatments into functional medicine, because we realized that's just selling health, just on a non-toxic way compared to the pharmaceuticals. But it's the same approach. And if that doesn't work, why should that work? So standing on the shoulders of giants means to learn from them. And we're happy to share what we have learned and the experience that we have accumulated with you, so that you can now take it to your clients and shine. And, ride the giants is always something I've always loved. When I go and visit someone who has outstanding knowledge, and learning and studying and then implementing and then sharing it with you is how I retain it, and you can take it to the next level. All right, never give up. Probably the biggest lesson of all. A lot of people start out, they see the problem, then they think, analyze, plan, and try. We try out how this works, and then that's it. They give up. And that's how we stuck in mediocrity. We don't get anywhere else. We don't achieve success. So do it again, keep on doing, try different ways, alter, vary. When you speak to all of those doctors and practitioners and also all the health coaches out there, you will realize that they never ever got to where they are today, in a easy path. It was a learning curve. So failure is when you give up. That's the only way you can fail. Every mistake is a step towards success. And celebrate them. See, I've made plenty of mistakes. Just the name of our first movie, Cancer is Curable, put us straight away into one corner where we didn't want to be. But that's a mistake. So step away from that. We renamed the movie and republished it, and it's going really well. But you need to move forward. So there is not an easy journey to the peak of success, and that. Just climb up a mountain and it's not that easy. But every step is well worth it, because if you reach the level of expertise and you understand the problem, you have bookings galore. See, some of the doctors that we work with have 2 to 3 year waiting list. Some of the practitioners, the coaches, are booked out. They can't take on any more clients. And that's what you want. It's that level of expertise, that level of integrity that will bring you work galore and clients galore. And that's also when you can charge an extra very good fee that makes it worthwhile doing. God has given you a mind to set to a task that needs to be done. Just do it. Pick the purpose that you picked in your exercise number 1 and then just go for it. There is no easy solution to solve it. There is easier ways like standing on the shoulders of giants and playfulness in learning, but you still need to go the process. And the only regret you can have in life is when you give up. I've met so many people that had dreams. And let's face it, we all have dreams of being at the top of the pyramid, of being recognized, of being that well-known authority in the field. Well, you have to get there in order to not afterwards look back and think, I haven't done it. I should have. So many people, when you talk about I should have, never ever look back and say that. Do it, all right? Mastermind. We have, like I said before, for every single class, a mastermind group. And we keep them small so that you will be able to share your ideas, what you'd like to achieve, your principle of learning and the outcome that you envisage. And then we will fine tune that so that you don't go astray, that you don't get too sidetracked to too many avenues, so that you really focus on what the essence is and move there straight away. All right? See you tomorrow when we talk about how to create a very successful business. Probably the most important of all, because we need to get organized. Instead of working hard, we rather work smart. See you tomorrow.